In this video, I'll just solve 3 questions under units and measurement. Okay, so the first question, question 1. A solid cube is 350 grams and each edge has a length of 5.34 centimeters. Determine the density of the cube in SI units. Okay, so here we just have to find the density in SI units. Okay, so see. Solutions. So question 1. Okay, so a cube so that's a cube. Then these lines are the ones we are calling what? The edges. These are the what? Edges. This is a cube, that's the edge. Okay, so each of these edges are 5.34 centimeters each. So length there 5.34, so we have 5.34. Even there 5.34. Even there it's 5.34. That's the length of what? All the sides. So that's L, L, L. So this is simply L, L, even that is L, 5.34 centimeters. Then we have also been given the what? The mass of this cube. Its mass is what? The mass is simply 350 grams. So given the mass and the length of the cube, it's possible to find what? The density. But before we find the density, let's find the volume. So we know that volume for a cube will be equal to what? It's simply L multiplied by L multiplied by L, like that, which is simply V equals to L raised to exponent 3. So say volume will be equals to what's length? It's 5.34 centimeters. This raised to exponent 3, like that. So say volume will be equals to, okay, so let me just punch that on a calculator. So I have 5.34 cubed, which is 152.27. So I'm getting 152.27 cubic centimeters. So that's the volume. So we have the volume and the mass. It's possible to find density. So we know that density. So density is equals to what? It's of course mass over volume. So this will be equal to, what is the mass? 350 there. So say 350 grams over 152.27 cubic centimeters. So this will be equal to what? Let me just punch that on a calculator. So I have 350 divided by, that's 152.27. So I'm getting 2.299. So 2.299 grams per cubic centimeters. That's the density. So this density should be converted now to what? SI units. And you know that for volume, what are the SI units? It's kg per cubic meters, like that. So we should convert from grams per cubic centimeters to kg per cubic meters. So we use the chain link conversion. So we'll start with the same 2.299 grams. Then I'll simply say over what? 1 cubic centimeters. They multiply by, so let's first convert grams into kilograms. So we'll say over G down there, so that G and G can simplify, then kg on top. So we know that if we have 1 kilogram, we get what? 1000 grams. That's true. Okay, then let's do the same for centimeters. So on top, we know that we want what? We want to get rid of the centimeters. Okay, so say centimeters. Then down there we should achieve meters. But check, the centimeter we have there is raised to the power 3. Then the centimeter that we have is just power 1. The meter we have power 1. We should have something raised to power 3. Okay. So before that, we know that 1 meter gives us 100 centimeters, right? But this should be raised to power 3. So what you do, simply do that. Then you raise this to the third power, so that you can have centimeter to the power 3, centimeter to the power 3, and meter to the power 3. Okay, so next step, I'll say we have 2.299 grams. This should be over, that's simply 1 cubic centimeters. Then multiply by, move on to that, where we have simply 1 kg 1000 grams, they multiply by, okay, so that 100 raised to the power 3, we have 1 with how many zeros now? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 over, so that is now cubic centimeters. Same applies, 1 to the power 3, of course it is just 1. Then meter will be raised to the power 3. Yes. From there, simply say centimeter and centimeter will simplify. Gram and gram will simplify. Then we'll simply remain with what? So just multiply everything you have on top, then over what you have done there. So we have 1, 2, 3 zeros. We can simplify 1, 2, 3 zeros there. Meaning we have 2.299 multiplied by 1000. So the decimal point we just move 3 times. So the answer becomes 2299 kilograms per what? Cubic meters. That's it. That's how you go about solving that question. Okay. Let's move on to question 2. So for the second question, let's check what do we have. So we are saying a CBU student decided to paint his room, that is in form of a cube, with each side having length 3 meters. He ran out of paint and only managed to paint 5 sides of his room. If 45,000 cubic centimeters of paint was used, find the thickness of paint on the wall. Sorry, that again. A CBU student decided to paint his room, that is in form of a cube, with each side having length 3 meters. He ran out of paint and only managed to paint 5 sides of his room. If 45,000 cubic centimeters of paint was used, find the thickness of paint on the wall. Okay, so here we are simply considering a cube. So we are simply considering a cube like that. Okay. So this cube has how many sides? So it's simply 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. Then out of these 6 sides, only 5 were painted, and each edge rather, has a length of what? 3 meters. So that's 3 there, even there is 3. All these, it's 3 meters. Okay, so meter. Then the volume that was available, the volume of paint that was available, you can say V equals to, we have 45,000 cubic centimeters. This is the volume of paint that was available. Then a cube has how many sides? Of course, 6 sides, or simply 6 faces, but only 5 sides were painted. So meaning this paint covered only 5 sides. Okay, so what you do first, you have to find the area. Since that thickness of paint will come from this formula, we know that volume in general is equals to what? It's area multiplied by height. So this area will be the area of the 5 sides. Okay, then the volume of paint has been given. Then this height is the one which is representing the thickness in this case. So we have to find the area first, the total area. So we'll say area of one side first. So area of what? So area for one side only. One side. So area of one side will actually be equal to, so what to do in this case, simply multiply, this is a square, to be 3 times 3. So 3 times 3, which is simply 9 square meters. Then total area, so for 5 sides now, total area, so the total area will be equals to what? So of course 5 multiplied by 9. And this is giving us what? 45 square meters, like that. But let's check. We have meters, centimeter there, meaning this one should be converted to square centimeters, so that we can now use the formula to find the height. So in this case, let's convert the 45 square meters to square centimeters. Okay, so this is what we do. We have 45 square meters. You know that this one can be over 1. Then multiply by, okay. So 1 meter to cancel. So meter down there, centimeters. Then if we have 1 meter, we actually have 100 centimeters. But that is raised to the power 2. What does this mean? Even this side we should raise it to the power 2, like that. Okay, so we have 45 square meters multiplied by, so that will be 1 with the 1, 2, 3, 4 zeros, like that, square centimeters. Then over, that's 1 square meters. So that square meter will disappear. Then after that, simply multiply direct. So it will be 45 with how many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4 square centimeters. So this is the total area now. So we can use this formula now. Volume equals to area multiplied by height. So you know that volume equals to area multiplied by height. So where this height is the thickness, meaning we simply divide both sides by A. Therefore, height will be equal to what? It's volume over area. So height will be equal to what's the volume which was given. So the volume that was given, we have 45,000. So I'll 45, 1, 2, 3 square, cubic centimeters, over the area which we have found. We have 4, 5, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Square centimeters. So here, when you divide it there, you find that the answer is actually 0.1. So the answer is 0.1 centimeters. 0.1 centimeters. That's the thickness of paint on the wall. Okay. So if you want, you can even convert that one to 2 meters. So that's it for this question. Let's solve question 3. So for question 3, we are saying an object in the shape of rectangular parallelepiped measures 1.5 inches multiplied by 2.5 inches multiplied by 5.5 inches. Determine the volume of the object in cubic meters, given that 1 meter is 39.37 inches. So this is a rectangular parallelepiped which measures 1.5 inches by 2.5 inches, inches by 5.5 inches. Then we should determine its volume. So Okay, this rectangular parallelepiped, actually we can say it's in form of what? A cuboid. And for a cuboid, we know that to find its volume V. So to find its volume V should be equal to what? It's L, B, H. Okay. And we have already been given L, B, and H. So V will simply be, that's 1.5 inches multiplied by its 2.5 inches multiplied by 5.5 inches. Okay, so this will be equal to, so let's just multiply there, 1.5 multiplied by 2.5 multiplied by 5.5. We're getting, that's 20.625, 20.625. So it will be cubic inches. Okay. Then these cubic inches should be converted to cubic meters. So we'll start 20.625 cubic inches. This one can be written as what? Over 1 multiplied by, we have been given conversion factor, so we want to get rid of what? The inches. So we should put meters on top there. Then what's the conversion factor? If we have 1 meter, so if we have 1 meter, should give us 39.37 inches. Now this one is raised to the power 3. That one is 1. So what do? You do the same. That raised to the third power. Then the next step will be 20.625 inches, cubic inches rather. Okay, over 1 multiplied by, that will be 1 cubic meters. Then 39.37, we raise it to the power 3, so say 39.37 cubed. So I'm getting 61, okay, let me just write that, getting 61023 cubic inches. So the cubic inches now, cubic inches, it's appear. What do? Just divide what we have remained with. So when we multiply directly, there to be 20.625 cubic meters. This over 6102.3.4 cubic. We have gotten rid of that. Okay. So let me just divide. We have 20.625 divided by 6102.3.4. So I'm getting 3.38 times 10 to the power negative 4. 3.38 times 10 to the power negative 4 cubic meters. Okay, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Hope you have understood.